Hi, I'm Elizabeth Phillips with Island Batik. I'm also the project coordinator for the Quilted in Honor initiative. Quilted in Honor is an initiative to help Operation Homefront. Operation Homefront is a leading military charity here in the United States. They help the lowest pay grades of the military, E1 through 6, with emergency funding and all kinds of rehabilitation projects. Here at AQS Quilt Week, we announced the Giving Quilt Challenge. A giving quilt is a quilt with 24 to 36 pockets in it. And when the quilts are given to Operation Homefront, they put them in public places, and the community comes and they place gift cards in the pockets and cash. When the quilt is full, the quilt is given to a needy military family. Well, that's the challenge we announced here at AQS. We would like 2,500 quilts for next Christmas. The quilt behind me was done by Sharon Peterson and Carol Doak. It's just one example of how you can put your challenge quilt together. With this quilt, we used paper piece blocks. We did some embroidery up at the top, and it's the right size for a wall quilt, a baby quilt, or a wheelchair lap quilt. So we talked about giving quilts, and what is a giving quilt, and how do you build pockets into your quilt? Well, if you're someone like me who wasn't a sewer before they're a quilter, you might find that a little bit intimidating. But just let me show you a few ways that I figured out how I can put pockets in a giving quilt. This is a block by Carol Doak. It has a 2.5-inch finished center, which accommodates a gift card nicely. What did I do? Well, I put my piece 1 down, which is your centerpiece, and I created a piece 1A. 1A is folded and pressed, laid on the first piece, and then you paper piece as you normally would. And your finished product accommodates the gift card. Really simple way to get started on a giving quilt. The next one I wondered about is how do I put it into a pieced block? This one's got a really great pocket. You can hardly tell it's here. All I did was some strip piecing. So, piece my first 2 pieces together. On my second piece, another folded and stripped layer, or folded and pressed layer. Sew your second seam, and that becomes your center. And your pocket is formed when you put the rest of your block together. What if you have a fantastic block or a pattern that you like and you'd really like to enter the challenge, but you can't really figure out how you would fit a 2.5-inch finished pocket on your block? What I've done here is I've built it into the sashing. All you do is make your sashing piece longer and fold it up to accommodate the gift card. Well, I was feeling pretty confident at this point, and I thought, what could I do that'd be kind of whimsical and fun? So I went right to AccuQuilt. AccuQuilt can cut some amazing shapes. So how did I do that? Well, I cut 2. I placed down 1. I folded the other one in half, put it on, and then satin stitched around the shape. It made a really fun pocket and a really nice bright piece of punch on the quilt. So for the heart block, I went in a little bit different direction. Same thing again, I just took 2 pieces, put 1 down, folded 1 in half, flipped it, placed it, and stitched around to get my pocket. But on this one, the card fits in horizontally. Then I started to think, this is a Christmas giving campaign. How much fun would it be to make an advent calendar? The challenge calls for 24 to 36 pockets. 24 pockets is an advent calendar. Went right back to AccuQuilt, and I found my Christmas tree. Placed 1 down, folded a second one in half, placed it on top, stitched around, and I had a Christmas tree pocket. This is a great challenge because it really calls upon you to bring your creativity and your whimsy to the project. You don't have to be an award-winning quilter to win. There's 12 categories, and even 1 for the best pattern adaptation for placing the pockets in the blocks. I think one of the reasons I really like this challenge is it does 3 things. Number 1, it gives a needy military family cash and gift cards that they need to be able to go out and purchase what they really need for their family. Secondly, it gives them a fantastic quilt that they can keep in their home. This quilt was done by Eleanor Burns. She's built her pockets into it. And the third thing it does is it drives homegrown retail. So people can shop at home for the things that they need to help their families in the Christmas season. So I want to see 2,500 quilts into AQS by the 21st of February. We've announced the challenge here at AQS Quilt Week in Des Moines. For all the rules, deadlines, and criteria to enter the challenge, that can be found on the AQS website or quiltedinhonor.com.